All right. So you're thinking about starting your own company, huh? Well, specifically network marketing, or, some people call it multi-level marketing. And you want to figure out if it's right for you. We're going to help you cut through all the noise and hype and break it down to help you make a smart decision. We've got a training video here with some advice about what to consider before you jump in head first.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype around network marketing, but before we get into it,
Yeah.
did you know that network marketing's been around for over 50 years? And it's not just a bunch of empty promises. There's actually whole science behind it. Universities like Harvard and Complutense, University of Madrid, actually study it.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And I had no idea there was actual academic research going on about network marketing. That's pretty fascinating. But okay, let's be real. Not everyone's going to become a millionaire overnight. So what does this training video tell us about what's important when you're looking into this kind of opportunity?
Well, they give 4 key criteria to think about, kind of like your own personal BS detector to help you navigate this whole world. The first one is seniority. They recommend looking for companies that have been around for at least 5 years.
5 years, huh? Why is that so important? Is that just to show that they can survive?
It's more than just surviving. It's about managing risk. Statistically, 9 out of 10 new businesses fail within the first 5 years. So if you choose a company that has a longer track record, it's going to increase your chances of succeeding. Think about it this way. You wouldn't invest in a company that's constantly changing how they do business, or one that looks like it's going to go bankrupt, would you? You want something that's stable and has a good history.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm starting to get why that 5-year mark is so important. Okay, so what's the next thing we should be looking at?
So the second thing is all about the products themselves. They call it mass consumption and repetitive products.
Yeah.
So basically, you want to find things that people use all the time and that they have to buy over and over again.
Okay, that makes sense. So instead of trying to get people to buy something brand new or something they'll only use once, you're focusing on things they're already buying anyway. Like, what kinds of things are we talking about here?
Think about things like personal care items, like your shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah.
Household cleaners, stuff you always need, health supplements, things like that. People always run out of these things and need to buy more. They already know they need them. There's really just a matter of choosing your brand over another one.
Right. That's a really smart approach. Okay, I'm starting to get this. What's the third thing on the list?
So this one's a little more technical sounding. They call it world-class opportunity, and it's all about market saturation. Harvard Business School says that the best opportunities have less than 0.5% of the country's population as distributors.
Less than 0.5%. Why is that number so important?
It all comes down to competition. If you join a market that's already got a ton of distributors, you're going to be fighting everyone for customers. It's like trying to open a coffee shop on a street where there are already 5 other coffee shops. But if you go into a market that doesn't have as many distributors yet, you've got a better shot at building a really strong network.
So it's like finding that blue ocean, that untapped market where you can really stand out. I like that. Okay, so what's the last thing we need to be thinking about?
The last thing to consider is the company's growth stage. They say there are 4 main stages: foundation, concentration, momentum, and stability. And each stage has different opportunities and challenges for someone who wants to join.
Okay, break it down for me. What happens in each stage, and why does it matter to someone like me who's thinking about starting a business?
Okay, well, imagine a company is like a tiny little seed that grows into a big, strong tree. The foundation stage is that first sprout. It's when the company is brand new and still figuring things out, refining their products, figuring out their compensation plan. There are a lot of changes happening during that phase. So there's a lot of potential, but also a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, that sounds a little risky. What about the concentration stage?
So the concentration stage, they're focused on building a solid network of distributors. They're working on getting the right people on board and laying the groundwork for growth in the future.
So they're building their team. What about the momentum stage? This is the one you mentioned before, right?
Yes. Momentum is when things really start to get exciting. It's like that little seedling is really starting to grow into a big tree. The company is experiencing rapid growth and everyone's talking about them. There's a ton of energy and excitement. You want to catch that wave at just the right time.
So it's like riding the wave of success. Sounds like that's the time to join. What about the last stage, stability?
Well, the stability stage is all about stability. The company's got a proven track record. They've established themselves in the market, and their focus is on long-term sustainability and supporting their distributors.
So they've grown into a big, strong tree. Out of those 4 stages, it sounds like the momentum stage is the best one to join, right?
It can be, but each stage has its pros and cons. Joining during momentum might mean fast growth, but it can also be a little chaotic. While stability might be a slower pace, it also offers more security and support. It really depends on your personality, what you're looking for in a business opportunity.
That's a really good point. So we've covered a lot already, and I'm starting to get a clearer picture of what this whole thing is about. Seniority, product type, market saturation, and growth stage. Those are all super important factors to consider when you're checking out a network marketing company. But is there anything else we should be thinking about? I feel like we've got a pretty good checklist going, but is there more to it than just ticking off boxes? It can't be all about the numbers and what stage the company's in, can it?
You're right. There's actually a really important piece that a lot of people miss. And this training video talks about it in a really interesting way. They use this analogy about wanting to open a hamburger business.
Ooh, I love a good analogy. Tell me more.
So you could try to create this huge global empire like McDonald's. And maybe you'd become a multimillionaire.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Everyone knows McDonald's.
Right. But you could also choose to run a small little hamburger stand at like your local fair. You probably wouldn't get super rich, but you can make a decent living doing something you enjoy. Both options are totally fine. Just depends on what you want to achieve and how much work you're willing to put in.
That's a great way to think about it. It shows that network marketing is just like any other business. There are a lot of different ways it can go. Maybe you become a millionaire. Maybe you just create a nice income stream. Or maybe you just enjoy being your own boss. It all depends on your goals, your strategy, and of course, finding the right opportunity.
Exactly. And that brings us to something that's even more important than those 4 criteria we talked about. It's all about your why. Why do you want to do this?
Yeah, we've talked about the practical stuff, the things to look for in a company. But what about the personal side of things? What are your own reasons for wanting to do this?
It's kind of like dating.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just commit to someone because they check a few boxes on your list, would you?
Ha. No way. There has to be that spark, that connection.
Right. And it's the same with network marketing. You need to really connect with the company's mission and values if you want to be successful. Does their vision excite you? Do you love their products? Do you believe in the leadership?
That makes a lot of sense. It's not just about finding a company that checks all the boxes. It's about finding one that fits with who you are and what you want to do. I can see how you could get caught up in the hype and end up with a company that's not really a good fit for you.
Exactly. And remember, no opportunity is perfect. There are always going to be challenges and obstacles. But if you have a strong why, it will help you stay motivated and keep going when things get tough.
That's really great advice. And it's not just for network marketing, it's for anything you want to do in life. It's easy to get distracted by all the shiny objects and promises of quick success. But at the end of the day, you need to find something you truly believe in. I bet having that strong why can really help you stay focused on your goals, even when things get tough.
Absolutely. Having a clear sense of purpose will help you make better decisions, and it will help you deal with all the ups and downs that come with building a business.
So we've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about the 4 key things to look for when you're evaluating network marketing opportunities: seniority, mass consumption, market saturation, and growth stage. And we talked about how important it is to figure out your why, that driving force behind what you want to achieve. I feel like I have a much better understanding of what I need to be looking for now.
That's great to hear. But remember, this is just the beginning. The real learning starts when you take what you've learned and start looking into different companies.
You're right. It's time to put all of this into action. But before we move on, could you remind us of those 4 key things one more time, just to make sure it all sinks in?
Of course. So first we have seniority. You want to look for companies that have been around for at least 5 years. That shows they're stable and have a proven track record, which means less risk for you.
5 years check. It's like making sure the foundation of a house is solid before you buy it. What's next?
Then we have mass consumption and repetitive products. You want to find products that people use all the time and need to buy again and again. That makes your job a lot easier because there's already a demand for those products.
So things like toiletries, cleaning supplies, and vitamins. Got it. It's much easier to sell something people are already buying anyway. What's the third one?
Third is world-class opportunity, which is all about market saturation. Harvard Business School suggests looking for opportunities where less than 0.5% of the population are already distributors. That means less competition and more potential customers for you.
So less competition means more room for me to grow.
Got it. And lastly, what's the 4th thing we should be thinking about?
The company's growth stage. Remember the 4 stages: foundation, concentration, momentum, and stability. Ideally, you want to find a company that's in the momentum phase. That's when there's a lot of growth and excitement. But each stage has its own pros and cons. So think about what's best for you and your risk tolerance.
Okay, so we've got our 4 criteria to guide our research.
Yeah.
And we know how important it is to find a company that matches our own values and goals. This feels like a really good foundation for making a decision about network marketing.
Absolutely. You've got the knowledge you need to start digging deeper and exploring specific companies. That's right. Now it's time to put on our detective hats and start investigating. So we've got our roadmap and our checklist. We've even got our detective hats ready. But where do we actually go from here? How do we use all this stuff to find the perfect opportunity?
Well, now's the fun part. It's time to start digging into different companies and doing some research. You've got those 4 criteria as your guide: seniority, product type, market saturation, and growth stage. Use them to compare different companies. And see who's who in the zoo. Get a feel for what clicks with you.
I like that. Who's who in the zoo? It's like we're on a safari trying to find the perfect business partner. But there's got to be more to it than just those 4 things, right? What other questions should we be asking when we're researching companies?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not just about ticking off boxes. You also want to look at each company's culture and values. What kind of support system do they have? What's their training and mentorship like? Do they have a strong community feel? Those things can make a big difference.
It's like dating again. You wouldn't just pick someone because they fit a few criteria. You'd want to get to know them.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask the tough questions. Talk to people who are already distributors for the company and see what their experience has been like. Read online reviews, both good and bad. Get a sense of the company's reputation and how they treat their people. Remember, this is a partnership, so you want to make sure it's a good fit all around.
This is great advice. It's easy to get excited about a new opportunity, but it's important to do your homework before you jump in. But hold on. We've been talking about researching companies. Shouldn't we be researching ourselves too?
Oh, absolutely. We've been so focused on evaluating companies.
But what about you? What are you good at? What are your passions? What kind of impact do you want to make? It's like that saying, it's not about finding the right opportunity. It's about being the right person for the opportunity.
You got it. So while you're checking out these different companies, also take some time to think about your own values, goals, and dreams. What kind of work-life balance do you want? How much money do you want to make? How much time and energy are you willing to put in? Answering those questions will help you narrow down your options and find a path that really fits with who you are.
I love that. We started by talking about evaluating companies, and now we're talking about evaluating ourselves.
Yep. It's a two-way street. It's about finding that sweet spot where your passions and skills and values line up with the right opportunity.
So to all the future entrepreneurs out there, remember that knowledge is power. We've given you the tools to understand the world of network marketing, but the decision is ultimately yours. Choose wisely, do your research, and most importantly, trust your gut.
And never stop learning and growing. Building a business is a journey. There will be ups and downs along the way, but with the right mindset, a supportive community, and a lot of determination, you can achieve amazing things.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into network marketing. We hope this has given you the information and confidence you need to start your own entrepreneurial adventure. Remember, your success is in your hands.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.